Good morning, people. My crazy people this morning. Hi, Dibble. Hi, Darlene. Sorry, I was a minute late because I was reading what Dibble had written in the chat. Hey, TG. Yeah, that sucks for your nephew. I don't know. Yeah. I made that decision once. I love him and stayed together and I'm helping him out. And I lived in the car with him, and I ended up losing my daughter and lived in the car for 3 months, and it sucked big time. But I do not blame you for not allowing someone, him to bring somebody to the house at night. I don't blame you at all. You don't know who she is. You don't know what she'll do or what she'll steal or anything about her. So, yeah, I don't blame you for that at all. So, sounds like she needs to get her ID so she can get a damn job. You know? I have not heard anything from my son in the past few weeks, so I'm hoping everybody's doing all right where he is. My grandson's birthday was yesterday, so he is now 17 years old. Oh, Dibble, when they break up, he'll be back at your door, needing a place to stay. Yeah, I hope he's all right too. Um, I hope my grandson had a good birthday. I did call my mom yesterday and tell her to let him know I wished him happy birthday. Oh, from the girl? I don't know. I have no idea. I don't know anything about her. So, I mean, it could go either way. She could set his car on fire or she could just walk away. You don't know until it happens. But I do know that if you let her stay there, that it's harder to get people out of your house than it is to I mean, you can't just say. A lot of times you can say get the fuck out, but there are times when you actually have to go through an eviction process for letting someone stay in your house, and sometimes that can take a crazy long time, and in the meantime you're vulnerable to any kind of negativity. So yep, I do. Your nephew has horrible taste in girls. He needs to go gay or something. I don't know. He does not have good taste. How could you go without ID? You know what I mean? You have to have some form of ID. I mean, my son doesn't drive, but he has a state ID. So he's had a state ID since he was 17. Sounds like it. Sounds like she was popping couches, making friends with people so she'd have a place to stay. Sounds like she needs to get her fucking act together, doesn't it? Get your shit together, girl. She's depending on him to provide. Yeah, that's funny. Couch surfing, yep. Couch surfing, couch hopping, being a fucking sponge. Yep. Yep, yep, yep. So I woke up this morning. My eyes are bugging out. I mean, like, they literally hurt. Well, the goop that was piled up in them. They're feeling a little better now. And my whole body was like stiff as a board. I could not move for like, I don't know, 3 minutes after I was conscious, I had to literally move every muscle individually to try and move. And it sucked. I am so sore right now, and I don't know why. I didn't really do anything strenuous. My lower back is still a little twingy from last weekend, but it's getting better. And good morning, Casual. So this morning I will be sorting through things that see what I'm gonna try and sell, and then after my live I'm gonna be dragging stuff out to the studio that I'm not gonna be trying to sell again, and dragging stuff from the studio into my room. I do not have a lot of room to put things in here, so I have to kind of move things around. So yeah. Yeah. Yeah, they did the drawing for the Julepathon yesterday. So that's out. Robin got the commercial made for that because Robin is awesome. And I will be doing a sale at 2:30 this afternoon. And hopefully I will be able to make enough to keep the electric on. That'd be nice. So, well, you were probably sleeping when they did the drawing because they did it at night. Which I think it would have been like 1 or 2 o'clock in the morning, 3 o'clock in the morning your time. So, yeah, you were probably sleeping. PG. Good morning, Bonnie. Yeah, it was exciting spinning the wheel. It was all right. It was more exciting for me for the reactions to the people that's names got picked. They were like, "Oh my god," and they were all happy. So, lots of new sellers to you. Yeah, there are a few on there that I haven't seen before. It should be fun. Should be fun. Yep, Jabberty is having a kids edition. That's awesome. Yep. Very cool. It's Tania's daughter. One of Tania's daughters is Rhonda's son Liam going to be in it, and then Jabby's daughter is going to be in it. I know they tried to get Colin to do it, and for someone who keeps talking when his mom's trying to sell stuff, he was all silent and being like, "Nope, I'm not doing Jeopardy." So they did try to get Colin to do it, though. Who knows? Maybe if he sees the other kids having fun this time, he'll want to do it next time. If they do it again. Who knows? Morning, Stacy May. That's funny. Kodia is one of the names I use when I game. Yeah, Keegan, Liam, and Abby. When I play my Dungeons and Dragons, because I play it so many times, I'll start it from the beginning over again. I have to change my name a little bit, so I change the spelling of Kodi, and I do Kodi with an I and then an apostrophe I. I do all kinds of different spellings for my name. I don't play online because I can't deal with stupid people, but I've probably played my Dragon Age games, each of them like I don't know, at least a dozen times. So there's always some variation of my name in there. No, you try to get Royce to do it, but he's too shy. Yeah. No, I don't use Jody. I always use Kodi. Jody is a different name. Kodi and Kodia and all that. It's similar. So I haven't played Dragon Age in freaking 6 years. And now the next one they come out with will be for a system I don't have. And that will make me cry. Morning, MKT. Funny Dibble. No. Morning, Mama Liam. So my sale is at 2:30 this afternoon. So if y'all can stop back by and say hi, give some support, that'd be great. You don't have to buy anything. Nobody's ever obligated to buy anything. But it's nice to see people show up and say, hey, you know. And if I don't get enough today to pay the bill in full, then we'll do it again tomorrow or Monday, or we'll just keep having sales until people buy enough shit that I can pay the bill in full and try and get enough for my phone bill for this coming month. And life is too fucking expensive. I gotta get flea stuff for the dog. Yeah. I hate stressing over money. I really do. It's not just jewelry. I got a purse. I've got a little notepad thing. I've got a dish towel set. It's got owls on it. Just randomly grabbing stuff around my house. Plus, I have a whole bunch of beaded necklaces and stuff and bracelets that I found from when I was doing my beading. So I have some of those to sell. Yeah, just, you know. I did not get to the books. I don't know if I'll be able to dig down to the box of books, craft books and stuff. It depends on how my back feels when I'm done dragging things in and out of my room, because that box is heavy. So it's going to hurt when I move it. And I have to move it in order to open it because it's on its side right now. So, yeah. Not overly sure about how that's going to go. And I got little crafting things. I got a little bib that you can cross stitch, and I've got like a little embroidery hoop, a little plastic embroidery hoop. I think I got for the bib. I do not have a pattern for the cross stitch for the bib, but I have the bib and I have the loop. I don't know. And then I've got some of this like quilting squares. I've got some of those. Apparently I was going to quilt at some point in time. I don't know. I don't remember, but I found the fabric. So, hey, what the hell? Yeah, people lurk all the time, Stacey. That's usually how it goes in here. People come and hang out. They want to see if I'm going to rant about anything, you know. They want to see if the fucking masshole is going to come out and see what I'm going to say. Because you never fucking know. Can't remember if I wrote anything down or rant about it or not. Hey, Jennifer. Nope. I didn't. Still get the same stuff from last time. Yeah, a lot of lurkers, especially after last week's auction rate. Hey, you know what? I hope that both moderators and the people that sell can use what the input that we all had as constructive criticism. You know what I mean? Not as, oh my God, they hate my auctions, but hey, how can I make my auctions better? You know what I mean? Because yeah, it was my little. Oh yeah, I forgot. Thank you, Darlene. I forgot the invite link. Because it wasn't negative about any one person's auction or, you know, a rant about a specific, hey, you're doing this wrong type of thing. It was just little things that irritate me, that and other people put in things that they get irritated by, and they should use that as constructive criticism on how to improve their auctions. You know what I mean? I was at an auction and it wasn't in our group, wasn't in our main community or anything. It was, I forget where it was. Oh my God, they were going on and on. There were no bids on this item, and I think they spent 15 minutes with this item on screen. I was like, okay, I'm gonna go take a nap, and I can come back, and it's still gonna be up there. It was, and it just dragged everything. It's like, okay, it's not selling. Move on. Next item. Let's go. Let's go. You know what I mean? I was just like, oh my God. So yeah, if people get bored, they're gonna leave, or they're not gonna be inclined to buy. So I hope people use what we said as constructive criticism, to improve, modify. I don't know, but to make their auctions better. Yeah, sellers have to consider time versus money. I mean, and some people have told me, well, you don't even buy anything at auctions, so who are you to say what is good or what's bad at auctions? Well, I'm still a person, and if I do have money, you know what I mean? There are times when I do have a little bit that I can play with, or I set aside some, you know. So, of course, usually I go to stone auctions with that money, but every once in a while, I'm able to grab something from somebody, and just because I'm not able to buy something doesn't mean that my opinion's not valid, you know. So, screw you people who don't think I'm valid. Um, and it wasn't just me that was mentioning things that irritate them. A lot of people in the chat mention things, and there are people that come into my chat that do buy from other people at auctions. So yeah, I mean, nine out of 10 art critics couldn't color in the lines with crayons and paper instructions. But there's still art critics who can tell you what's wrong with a painting. You know what I mean? So just because somebody doesn't do something doesn't mean that their opinion isn't valid. Oh, Jennifer, seriously. Two birthday parties. Did you have to get two presents? That would drive me crazy. My grandson's birthday was yesterday. My mom's birthday is in 2 days, and then my son's birthday is the day after that. So we've got the 22nd, the 25th, and the 26th. Bam. Everybody's birthday all in one shot. I'd be like, no, we're having one party. If you don't like it, too bad. I was not able to do birthday parties or anything for my kids. Um, and all I can do with my grandkids is wish them happy birthday. And I can't even do that in person. I have to tell my mom to tell them because I'm so afraid of them freaking out if I say the wrong thing or they take something I say the wrong way. So I did call my mom yesterday and ask her to wish my grandson happy birthday. He's 17 now, so still can't even cook himself microwave waffles. But hey. It did not storm here. We had a little bit of thunder, but it just kind of moved over us. We didn't get any rain. Get them kids to making cupcakes. Not cunt cakes, yeah. Don't serve those at a kid's party. Probably not a good thing. Hey, Thomas. High 90s. I don't even know what it's supposed to be here. I don't go outside, so I normally don't even check the weather. Closest I get to outside is putting the dog out. Let's see, highs. Yeah, highs in the 90s. 90s to mid 90s this week. Looks like it's supposed to rain Tuesday and Wednesday, and Friday and Saturday. Today, tomorrow, and Monday are supposed to be cloudy. Yeah, it's 2:30 Eastern. I've got jewelry and I have some miscellaneous little, like I've got a purse that's I bought as leather. I never actually took it out of the package. It's still in the plastic that it came in. I found it on Sunday. I was like, oh yeah, I remember that. And like a little faux leather notepad type of thing. Um, this is supposed to be genuine leather. The purse. It's like a patchwork purse. It smells like leather. Yeah, that's how I test my leather, as I smell it. Not a strong leather. I don't know. I, um, and then I've got like a dish towel set that I found, and I've got beaded jewelry that I made. I've got some soldered jewelry that I made, and that kind of thing. And there's no tag in this thing, genuine leather. So I don't know. I would I think they lied to me. So I will not be selling this as genuine leather because I can't see anywhere on it that it says genuine leather. So, but it's still a really pretty purse. I like it, which is why I bought it. And it was one of those online things, so you know. But it's stuff I have piling up in the house, and you got to go. You know, I need to keep my AC on and the internet on. Coots, those things that look like ducks, but they're not. No, Debbie, not coochies. Shame on you. So. And if I can get to the craft books and get the craft books out, then I've got a couple of books on how to make purses. I've got one on how to repurpose denim, things like that. I'll sell those too. I got very ambitious at one point, and I was like, "Oh, I'm gonna do all these crafts." Yeah, never did any of them. The books are all pretty much unopened. So I just have to make sure they fit in the envelopes that I have because I don't have. I mean, otherwise I'm gonna have to put them in bigger boxes, and that's gonna be awkward for shipping. So, yep. My live is not going to be too long this morning. Good morning, my groovy giggle girl. The live's not going to be too long this morning because I do have to finish trying to get all this organized. I mean, I can only organize so much before the day of the sale because I don't have any place to put things. You know what I mean? So I have to pretty much do everything last minute, and that's going to kill my back and everything else. But I'll just take a really long nap this afternoon afterwards. And for anybody who didn't see it, everybody go watch Kathy's new video that she dropped on Thursday. because she's our awesome Earth angel. She needs views. People go watch it. Thank you, Jennifer. When's the power bill due? Within the next few days, I believe. And they give you a little bit of leeway, but Simi quit. She over there, at the neighbors. They live there. They're allowed. Leave them alone. She's like, nobody else belongs in my sight, in my line of sight. A couple of days. Let's do the 25th, and then they give you like a week leeway. So by the end of the month. By the end of the month. Oh, that's okay, Jennifer. 2:30, Kathy. 2:30 Eastern. Yeah, I don't understand why people throw so much away. I don't get that. There was huge waste when I worked at Walmart. I used to see them bringing the whole, shopping carts full back to the dumpster that locked, so nobody could get into it. It was the compactor and everything. I'm like, oh my God, so much waste. Yeah, my bill is $40 more than it was last month because of our temperatures we've been having. If I don't have my room cool enough, then I have problems breathing. So, and even then, my thermostat, I believe, is set at 78. But I've got a fan going on in my room too, and I just uncovered the vent, so it's cooling it off a little bit better now. I was able to dig down to the vent to get the book off it that the cats had knocked on the floor. Bitches. That box of beads that I picked up all the little bags of beads with because the cats knocked it over. Yeah, they knocked it off again. I'm like, what the hell? Now the way they knocked it over, they knocked it against the plastic drawer tower that I have. So the box didn't open. It's on its one end, like long side is facing me and short side is up. But as soon as I go to touch it, all those little bags are gonna fall out of that box. Oh, cool, Kathy. Thank you. So, yeah, I'm just leaving that box where it is right now, unless I decide to start selling the beads out of it, because I have a lot of natural stone beads. Someone sent them to me like 5 years ago, and yeah, I just haven't been able to get to them to make anything. There's some nice beads in there, though. Of course, while I was picking them all up off the floor after the cats knocked the boxes over, I was like, "Ooh, I remember these. Ooh, it's like Christmas, I'm like, "Ooh, I like those beads," but I don't know. The whole metalsmithing thing is a little hard on my hands, so I don't know if I'm going to be able to keep doing that. I mean, for very simple things, I can do it, but none of the things that I really wanted to do am I going to be able to do because of my hands. So I might just go back to beading. I don't know if I'll make any money on that, but then again, I'm not able to make anything to sell doing the silversmithing either. So I don't know. I don't know what I'm going to do yet. I did not. Thomas, did you put a new video out? Oh, Dibble got a Goodwill. Did you get the jewelry one or did you get something else? I heard a lot of those places, the blue boxes aren't as good anymore because they've apparently hired people to actually curate them now. So you don't get as many surprises and, good stuff in them because all the expensive stuff gets taken out and put in different things. The jewelry one after shipping is $49.99. Yeah. Well, I hope you find good stuff in it. I do. I mean, I know they used to be when they first started doing them that you could get the Goodwill blue boxes with the jewelry and you could get all kinds of really good sterling and everything else in it, but the last one was 100% garbage. Well, I hope this one is not. I hope you get lucky on this one and you get a good one. Aw. YouTube sucks like that. You're hoping they redeem themselves? Yeah. I mean, I know a lot of them, they used to get the Goodwill boxes and they were like really nice stuff. And all of a sudden people started getting them and they were all junk, and which tells me that they have people going through them now. You know what I mean? Because it doesn't all of a sudden change like that. You're across the board. You know what I mean? I mean, you don't get decent stuff for 6 months and then all of a sudden for the next 3 months you get stuff that doesn't have anything good in it. No, that means people are going through them and taking out all the silver or the name, the marked things like Trafari and any high-end costume. They're taking all that out. There are patterns to these things. Yeah. Well, I think it depends on where you get them from too, because a lot of people say that certain states or certain areas are curated and certain ones are not. So what you want is the ones that aren't, but of course they don't tell you they are or not. They'll tell you, oh, none of these are curated. Yeah, they lie. Crap. I have too much stuff on my table. I have too much stuff in this cup. What the hell? Get in there. Okay. Cat, move your butt. Great. Move, come on. That means move all the way out of my way, not just get up and shift an inch. Damn cats, man. They definitely remember when they were worshipped as gods. And she still only moved like 2 inches. Hey, Shirley. I'm sorry, Kathy. That sucks. Yeah, it's definitely a gamble. Those Goodwill boxes are definitely a gamble, and I can't take a gamble on that because if I get junk, what am I going to do with it? I might also do some jewelry bags. So my neighbor just decided to start weed whacking. Yay! And like a jewelry jar, only it'll be a Ziploc bag because I did have a cute jar, but it was kind of gross. And my mom decided to throw it out instead of washing it. I was like, "Hey, where'd that jar go?" And she goes, "Oh, I threw that away." I'm like, "Oh, really, mother." So they'll be in Ziploc bags. I have 2 boxes of costume jewelry that were sent to me by Clear Thrifts, like hashtag schlong mail. Um, there's no schlong included anymore; those are gone. But I do have these boxes of costume jewelry. I do not do anything with costume, um, and I did try sewing them like pieces individually and stuff like that, and it just wasn't working. None of it, as far as I know, is marked. Um, I didn't see any marks that were distinguishable. So, oh no, Dibble. Yeah, I said schlong. Yep. It was definitely dick mail. Yep. Um, that he buried in costume jewelry, so he knew I would open it because it had jewelry in it. So some of it's broken, some of it's missing stones, some of it is perfectly wearable. So, hey Brandon, good morning. So I'm gonna do up some bags that are just a Mod Podge. I mean, it could be, it'll be a combination. I'm not sorting through this crap. I've got, I mean, one of these boxes weighed 17 pounds. I'm not wading through 17 pounds of stuff. So I'm just gonna grab handfuls of stuff and put them in Ziploc bags and, put them up for buy it nows or whatever, and that'll clear out a couple of boxes. And people buy them, it'll clear out some boxes, and they'll be. I mean, you can repurpose stuff, seed beads or whatever are in there. They'll be sold as craft, but there will be wearable stuff in there or sellable stuff in there. I'm just not sorting through it. You know what I mean? So we'll sell it as craft, and if you get something that's wearable that you like, more power to you. But it will help me clear out some room, and I won't have to keep looking at this costume jewelry going, what am I supposed to do with that? Because I don't repurpose costume jewelry. I mean, I might repurpose natural stone that's in costume jewelry, but sometimes the seed beads, it depends on the quality of the seed beads though, because I do bead weaving, and if I get seed beads that are all wonky and not um precision cut, like Darlene will know what I'm talking about. You get the seed beads that are kind of wonky shapes. They're not all uniform. When I do bead weaving, I need uniform sizes. So I do have some like that you can get from Walmart. Um, oh, cool, Brandon. I do have some that just, if I'm doing just stringing or whatever, they don't have to be all uniform. They can be kind of wonky or whatever. It adds an eclectic look to it. But if I'm doing bead weaving, I need uniform beads. So yeah. So I'm just gonna do up some Ziploc bags of costume stuff. I'll sell them as craft lots. Yeah. Having curry tonight. Yeah, I can't eat that. That's okay, Darlene. Yeah. I mean, when I do my bead weaving, I use delicas or toho. I use a Japanese cylindrical cut um, seed beads. Yeah, I can't eat anything curry. It's even mild. It's too spicy. So, and I do still have that pendant. Um, I need to take bids on that though, because I did pay up for that, and I bought it for myself, but I'm never gonna wear it, and I need the money. So I have that pendant that's the lapis, carnelian, and labradorite pendant that's all articulated. Um, sterling silver. It's like, what was it, like 2.5 inches long, and that was pretty pricey for me to buy. So I have to do bids on that. Hopefully somebody will buy that. It's a chunk of butt. It's a chunky monkey. I am surprised nobody bought the little gnome that's playing the pan flute though, because he's sitting on a chunk of chevron amethyst on a little tumble of chevron amethyst, and he's just playing his little panpipes. He's cute. I'd have bought him. So I still have him. Things like that. Cat, really? Oh, she's so invasive the last few days. And yes, Brandon, congratulations getting in the Jewelathon. That's awesome. Morning, Bobby. Hey. It should be fun to watch. I like watching jewelry auctions. I mean, I cry, but jewelry I'm okay with. It's when it's natural stones and things that I'm like, oh, because I don't go anywhere, so I have nowhere to wear jewelry. You know what I mean? So it's like, oh my god, I love that, but I really don't have opportunity to wear jewelry. I mean, I don't. My hands are so fucked up that I can't just sit here with jewelry on. I put it on when I do my lives sometimes if I'm going to be on camera. I put some on sometimes when I'm doing my sales, but when I'm just sitting here, it causes me a lot of pain to put jewelry on. So yeah. So, but I like watching it. I like watching all the different styles and different types, and I like to look at it in my jewelry box. Yeah, I have an entire jewelry armoire um, that John got for me that the cats have probably scratched the hell out of the top of running across it. But yeah, I have a whole jewelry armoire. It's got drawers in it, and the lid lifts up, and the doors open on each side of it. It's full standing. I mean, it stands like 4 feet high. It's great. It's beautiful. It's buried under all the boxes except for the top of it, which the cats run across all the time, and I'm sure it's scratched as shit now. But I'd always wanted one, and we went to a furniture liquidation sale or something, and I was like, "Oh my god, look at that! I've always wanted one of those." The next thing I know, they're putting it in the car because he was like, "I'll take that." He bought it for me. Yeah, the jewelry's all over the house. Yeah. Well, I have jewelry all over the house because, well, yeah, I have jewelry in the storage room. I have jewelry out in the studio, and I have jewelry in my room. So yeah, that's pretty much all over the house. There's none in the bathroom, and then there's none in the kitchen. Yeah, Kathy, he was always doing stuff like that. I had to be really careful what I said around him, especially if he actually had money on him. Because if I was like, "Oh, that's adorable! Look at that! Isn't it cute?" and I walk away, the next thing I know, he bought it for me. Yeah, and I don't say stuff like that so that people will buy me things. I say it because, oh my god, it's adorable! Isn't that cute? But that's how John was. Of course, I did the same thing to him. If he was like, "Oh, that's awesome," and I had the money for it, he walks away and I'll buy it and give it to him later. Yeah, it's just how we rolled. Of course, he didn't do that for his wife, so that did cause some problems for them. Although he did go out of his way to get her stuff too, because she liked cats and butterflies. And I even pointed out stuff for him to get for her. I'd be like, hey, look, it's a kitty cat and it's got a butterfly on its nose. You should get that for your wife. He'd be like, yeah, that's nice. And he'd walk away. I'm like, oh my God, really? Yeah, I tried. And he would get her stuff. He actually bought a set that I had made with lampwork glass and Swarovski crystals, and it was earrings and a pendant. And he bought it off me for $30, and he gave it to her for her birthday. She wore the pendant once, and then it went in a box, and we never saw it again. So, yeah. And he'd buy her, like, he'd be out somewhere and he'd see, like a butterfly necklace or something, and he'd pick it up for her. She'd wear it once, put it in a box, that was it. And she wouldn't even say thank you. She'd be like, oh, okay. And that'd be it. So it's one of the reasons he really didn't get her too much stuff, was because she was very unappreciative. I mean, people like to at least get a thank you. I mean, they don't do it for a bunch of praise or for recognition, but they do at least like a thank you. Holy shit, Brandon. No, she wasn't a gold digger. She had more money than he did, which she constantly reminded him of, which is not good. She was constantly like, I'm bringing in the money. Yeah, shut up, bitch. Yeah, I would be overwhelmed too. I thought you were supposed to be clearing stuff out, not adding to it. You can't even get through that room. What the hell? Damn. I was like, wait a minute, that's way more in there than there was there before. You may or may not have gotten 12 30-pound boxes. Yeah. So I see. Wow. That's some craziness right there. I am not looking forward to sorting through things. I'm really not. I already sorted through some stuff, like the stuff that I had made. Um, because some of the necklaces I had made, and I mentioned this in my last live, some of the necklaces I made don't have clasps on them, because I was going to do, choose what kind of clasp you like. And now I don't know where any of my clasps are. I don't know where my lobster claws or my spring rings or any of them are. So the ones that don't have clasp, I can't sell because I can't put a clasp on them. Yeah, you might have a little bit of an addiction, Brandon. But I do have some that did have clasps on them, so I can sell those and bracelets, things like that. Um, yeah. So we'll see how things go. I mean, I've got stuff all over the place. Um, I know. Those are my poison rings. I'm not selling those suckers. Nobody getting that. They're mine. Um, they were gifts, so I can't. Just looking at the stuff I had in the little bag next to my table here. But that's all personal stuff that It's mine. It's all mine. All right, Darlene. Good luck, honey. Don't overheat yourself. Make sure you stay hydrated. Jennifer, you have a jewelry addiction too? Yeah, I think we all have an addiction of some kind or another. Yeah, it's JHA, Jewelry Hoarder Anonymous. Yeah. My name is Dibble and I'm a jewelry hoarder. Jennifer, I like to buy it and go through it, but not list it. Yeah. Chris, I am not addicted to plush. I am not addicted to plush. Buy 7 squishmallows at a garage sale. Uh, yeah, Darlene, that's understandable though. You know, I mean, your mom put her energy into things and she made them. So that's kind of different. That's understandable. My mom is currently doing a painting. It's a color by number, but like with mine, I showed you guys pictures of the one she did for me. She's doing it for my middle child, who of course had to pick one out that's extremely complicated, with tiny little details. It's taking my mother forever to make it, but she picked it out. My mom ordered it, and she's been painting on it for, I don't know, the past 4 months. She's gotten about a quarter of it done, and she works on it for like 3 hours at a time every day. Yeah, teeny tiny brush and a magnifying glass. Um, but she's bound and determined to make this for a child that never contacts anybody in the family except during holidays, when she wants, make sure that she contacts so she gets her money. Bye, Brandon. Yeah, get to work going through all that stuff, mister. So, I don't know. My mom is making a hell of a lot of effort for someone who doesn't give a damn about the family. But, oh, yeah, definitely, Chris. I wouldn't have said no to $1 each either. I mean, my mom told her that, I lost my leg and that I had the heart problems and everything. And she went, oh, okay. She don't give a damn. That's the child that refers to me as her incubator. Well, I'm glad I could help you out with that. She's currently living in Georgia, apparently. Her second husband got transferred for work or whatever, or got a job in Georgia, so now she's living in Georgia. Nice to be appreciated. Again. Oh, and I still have the sweater set that my mom made, that she crocheted, um, or knit, whichever, little hat and sweater. But she wanted me to. My daughter told her she could get $30 for it, and I'm like, maybe 20. She did hand make it. I mean, it's handmade by mom. That's a size 1 year. A little hat and sweater. Yeah, I'm gonna try and sell a hat and sweater with 90-degree temperatures out, right? But she did a good job on it. It's really pretty. And I don't have it in my room, and I'm not bringing it in my room because I don't want cat hair and dog hair all over it. Um, but I did have a picture of it. Let's see. Hopefully, this will not screw up my laptop again. We're going to try it. If I disappear, I'll be back, but it'll probably take me about 20 minutes. So, because sharing screen is what screwed me up last time. It did not like it at all. Let's see if this works. There you go. See? Isn't they cute? It's pretty colors. My mommy made that. It's a little sweater and a hat, size 1 year. So that'll be up for sale too. I'm just not bringing it in to show people because I don't want to get all covered in animal hair. Wow. Are those all like RC cars, Thomas? Or just models? Nice trailer. Yeah, knitted. Isn't it pretty? My mom does a really good job. And she crochets dishcloths, like that you wash your dishes with. She crochets those. Oh, RC cars, yeah. Cool. John used to love RC cars. So, knitting and crochet always made my head explode. My mom tried to teach me when I was little. Well, younger, like, 10, 11, 12, and I was just like, nope. My brain couldn't comprehend it. But my mom was so funny. I was going through the necklaces and bracelets that I had made, and she comes walking past me, and she goes, "Oh, those are pretty. Where did you get those?" And I was like, "Mom, I made them." She goes, "You made those?" And I'm like, "Yeah." And she goes, "They're beautiful. I can't believe you made them." And I'm like, thank you. I what? I'm like, wait. So yeah, I was like, thanks for the confidence in my talent, Mom. Appreciate that. But I don't think she realized how that sounded. It's like, oh well, I'm amazed that you could make something pretty. You know what I mean? I'm like, thanks. So yeah, I was like, well, now let's just hope other people like them too, so that they buy them. Ugh, if that would be nice. Come to my sale, buy my shit, please. uh, my dog is looking at me like I owe her money or something. Quit. Bless you. Yeah, I know she meant it as a compliment, but it was kind of a backward compliment, and I don't think she realized how it sounded. She did on her way out when she was leaving. She did say your jewelry is really really beautiful. You know, so mom, gotta love mom. She was trying to show appreciation for it. It's just the way that it came out, and I mean, every time I tried to talk to her about anything, she always immediately started talking about my daughter. I'm like, hello. You know, apparently my daughter got mauled by a cat while she was working because she is doing internship at a vet, and the cat was fine until other people came in the room, and of course then it attacked her and mauled her. I'm like, yeah, okay. My oldest tends to be a little narcissistic that everything is caused by somebody else. Hey Patrick. Yeah, Jen, the never ending quest to sell shit. I need to keep the power on. If I don't have AC, I'm gonna die. I won't be able to breathe. And I won't be able to talk to any of you because my Wi-Fi will be out. I'll be sitting here just staring at a blank computer. That would suck. And I wouldn't be able to charge my phone, and yeah. Hey Irene. Irene, I'm so sorry that I could not find the quilling things. Um, I I don't remember giving them to my mom, but I might have. I remember thinking I could give them to my mom to give to my granddaughter, but I don't remember actually doing it. But they're not where they would have been if I didn't. I don't know. I don't know where they are. If I do come across them, though, I'll let you know. Patrick, pants aren't required here. Unless you're going on camera and turning your camera on, then yeah, clothes are kind of required. So yeah, doing a sale today at 2:30. Hopefully making enough to keep the power on. That'd be good. You're going out, so pants are imperative. Yeah. I will be wearing clothes for the auction. Just saying, because I'll have the other camera hooked up, which hopefully will not screw up. I have problems with that thing too. It's one thing after another. But we're gonna do our best. Yeah, I don't blame you, Jen. I wouldn't want to be going out in icky weather either. Short skirts. No más pantalones. Sold. Yep. Hopefully. Hopefully. I have way too many things that I need to buy that I don't want to ask my mom to help me with because, mom, every time I turn around, she's telling me how much it costs to feed me. So, but I mean, I have the phone bill that's due this coming month, in the beginning of August, and that's $83. Of course, it's for 3 months, but it's $83. Plus, I got to get the flea stuff for the dog, and of course, then bills. On top of all of that, and just shit's too fucking expensive when you don't have an income that you can live on. Good night, Thomas. Sweet dreams. My mom wouldn't be able to live here. She owns her own home. Why would she move in here? And it wouldn't be cheaper for her. My mom owns her house. um, yeah, there's no room for me there. She's got my daughter and two grandkids there. and there's no ramp. So, yeah. Yep, I would. So, it absolutely does suck. It's all right, honey. Every once in a while, it gets way overloaded, and then I can't people at all. So, you don't see me in chats, or I might skip out on a couple of my lives because I can't deal with any kind of input whatsoever with people because of the depression will get so bad. But usually it only lasts a few days, and then I'm able to maintain again. It is what it is. Yep. So, yippers. We do the best we can. I mean, she sits there all the time. She'll be like, "Well, I don't know what you're gonna do when I'm gone." Which, Dibble, I don't. You shush. And I'm like, well, at least I'm not gonna be your great grandson who's gonna be standing in front of a microwave not knowing how to feed himself. Yeah, it doesn't matter. And there's no room at my mom's house. So, and they are. I mean, you have to find the people that can do it. It has to be the right angle. You have to get the materials. It's expensive. Mine's 525, Jennifer. But I only get 8 something, and I have the electric, the water, and the internet, and my money's gone. And the electric this time was more than I expected. So, I mean, I expected it. It just the money isn't there. So, but we do what we have to do, and I'm going through. Well, I went through a couple of boxes because I was trying to get to that tote little caboodle thing that I thought my jewelry findings were in. Yep, I got to it, almost fell, pulled muscles in my back, and it was not the tote that I thought it was. So I don't know where that tote is, but this one is not got my stuff in it. It's got John's stuff in it. Well, if you have a landlord, then you don't own your place. That doesn't make any sense. You can't own it and have a landlord because a landlord means somebody else owns it and you're paying rent. Yeah, Jennifer, that whole, make $5 more than you're supposed to and you lose your insurance for your kids sucks. Hey, Jabby. It's leasehold? I don't know what that is. We don't have that here. Yeah, when my daughter and the grandkids moved in with my mom, um, yeah, yeah, I get that, Jennifer. That's understandable. Um, my mom tried to apply for food stamps, but because she owns her own home and has $500,000 in the bank, they we're gonna give her and she gets her Social Security plus she gets the widow benefits from my dad's Social Security, which means she gets half of that, they would have given her $15. And they treated her so horribly at our social services office that she was absolutely horrified and mortified, and she will never go there again. Because they treated her like a fourth class citizen, like she wasn't even a person. They talked down to her, they were very disrespectful. And that's how they treat people here. That, you know, you need help and they come in there, they're secure, they have a job, they have insurance, they have they're fine. You know, but you go in there and they treat you like you're shit. And they shouldn't do that because it's already hard enough to ask for help as it is. But they were going to give her $15 a month. She's like, really? She walked out. She was like, see you later, bye. So that's weird. They do things different in the UK, but pays ground rent. You live in an upstairs apartment. Yeah, I don't get that. It's weird. You live in an upstairs apartment. You own your apartment, but you have to pay rent for what, the building? UK is definitely weird. A bunch of oddballs. Irene, right? Yeah, well, something like that. That's, yeah. Well, how does it work with condos? When you buy your condo, when you buy a condo that's in like a condo building, yeah. See, Stacy's like a condo here. I mean, do you have to pay rent for the building? I don't know how condos work. I know people buy their condo, but how does it work with your condo in someone else's building? You know what I mean? You have to pay a condo rent type of thing, like a building rent. I don't know how that works. I would never be able to afford to buy a condo, nor would I want one. I don't like people that close to me. What are you looking at? Your boyfriend outside? I don't see him. Yeah, condo fees. Huh. They call it maintenance fee. Yeah. But they don't fix anything or maintain anything. Yeah. Tell you, the last person that I stayed with when I was in Florida, his name was Mike, and he was a security guard for a condo complex. And yeah, he got paid for screwing his boss. So that was, you know, made him a hooker actually. But he he was sleeping with the lady that owned the condos, the condo complex. Yeah. So then she wanted him to move into one of the condos, but she didn't want me in there. I don't know why. There was nothing. I mean, Mike was like almost 70 years old. Absolutely nothing going on with me and Mike. But she was like, but she can't come. Fuck. So that's why I ended up back in South Carolina. I didn't have anybody else to stay with, and I couldn't afford any place on my own. Susanna, my beautiful Susanna. Where's my Tina? Don't forget, you got to tell her, how the fuck are ya? Hey, Barbara.
Hi, I'm going to cut my because I just got out of bed. but
Okay.
but let me just do that. Okay. But the conversation I think was about condos,
Yeah.
and I owned a condo,
Okay.
and basically what it is that when you buy, okay, your condo is a piece of property. When you buy that piece of property, um, and let's say, for instance, the bank gives you a loan for it, or if you pay for it outright, whatever, it's like buying a house. You buy the property either and pay a mortgage, or you buy it outright. When you do that, you become a part owner of the entire complex. You are a part owner of the building. You are part owner of the land that it stands on. And then to cover the costs of the water, garbage, and sewer, and the upkeep of the building itself, you pay a condo fee. You still pay your own electric and your cable and your internet and all of that kind of stuff. But when it comes to the maintaining of the hallways and the entryways and the mowing of the lawn and the shoveling of the sidewalks, that's all paid through the condo fees. And then we would have a monthly meeting where we would go over the bills and we would discuss the situations that were in the building that needed to be dealt with. It's also a real good way because you have owners in there. So if there is a management problem, like if you have a problem between two owners, that can be more not easily rectified, but it can be more easily rectified if it's done in a business setting where they can get the feedback from everybody else. And many times the little problems get ironed out very, very quickly. And many times it's give or take between the two parties. But as far as that's what a condo situation is. A lease is a little bit different. That's where you have a landlord that owns the building, but you own the apartment that you live in, and you actually pay taxes on that. Also, in a condo, you also pay taxes, but there are no taxes for the building at large. There's only taxes on your portion of it, which includes the rest of the building. Does that answer?
All of that is too people-y for me. I don't want to deal with people that close to me.
Yep.
I've lived in apartments and I hate it. I'm actually too close to people in my neighborhood now, but with my current physical situation, having neighbors that can check on me is a good thing. So, but I would rather live out in the woods away from everybody if I could, because I don't like being that close to people.
The one living situation that what you're talking about would be like buying some land that is already developed, that it has water, garbage, and sewer and electrical service on it. And then just get a used mobile home and put it there. And then you could once that is paid for, the only cost that you would have would be the utilities and the taxes.
Yeah, I know how it works. I had one.
Yeah.
But it got foreclosed on. So I had almost 4 acres of property, and we had mobile home on it, but it got foreclosed on. So it was nice. It was out in the woods. I liked it. Most of the land was actually woods, so and we lived there for 10
Yeah,
years. It was nice.
yep, that sound, I know exactly what you're talking about. Where my brother lives is kind of like that. It's out in the middle of the country and nobody bothers you, and it's very, very peaceful.
Yep. But my situation where I am now, it's I open my door every day, so at least one of my neighbors sees my door open, so they know I'm still alive. And if I don't open that door, they end up either my neighbor that gets my mail for me will text me and be like, "Hey, you okay?" or whatever. They know better than to come over
Mhm.
and knock, because then the dog barks, and if I get in the wheelchair and they walk away, I get pissed off that I got up and got out there and there's nobody there. But he'll text me and be like, "Hey, is everything all right?" Things like that. So the neighbors do check on me, which is nice. Because
Mhm.
nobody else fucking does. You know what I mean? My own family don't give a fuck. So except for my mom. And she calls. I talk to my mom every day, but the rest of my kids and stuff, they don't care. So it's nice that somebody in real time here keeps an eye out. Good morning, bitch. I mean,
Mhm.
Danny May. Hashtag give Tig treats. Danny May sent me pictures of my Tig last night. It was nice. My baby. I adopted Danny May's dog. It's my dog now. But yeah, I lived in apartment buildings when I was in Massachusetts, and I cannot stand living that close to people. I do not like my walls connecting to anybody else's walls. Nope, go away. I don't want to hear your kid running across the apartment above my head. You know what I mean? It's nope. No. It was funny because when we lived out in the country, the neighbors actually didn't mind our dogs, because we had a lot of dogs. We started off with one and we ended up with like 7. But and the neighbors actually didn't mind our dogs barking, because the only time the dogs barked is if someone pulled into our driveway or someone pulled into one of their driveways. So they always knew when someone showed up at their own house, because my dogs would bark and let them know somebody was at their door. So it was kind of cool. It helped the kid next door whenever he was smoking weed, so he could get up on the roof and get away from the cop that was showing up. But yeah, I'd look out my kid's window and there's next door neighbor's teenager on the roof with a joint, and I'm like, cop in the driveway, kid on the roof with weed. I'm like, yep, okay. I just walked back in going, oh my life. But but yeah, it was nice. I mean, we did have the one guy that lived. The one house was close to, because what it was is we owned 2 lots of property, and only one of them had the mobile home on it, and then the other one was all woods. So there was an entire lot separating us from the people at the top of the hill, and then the people next to us, luckily, were pretty cool. And yeah, their parties sometimes were loud, but they weren't too bad. And if I went over and say, "Hey, can you guys kind of turn the music down? My kids are trying to sleep," they did. So, they were considerate in that way. And when I was burning down my backyard, he freaked out and went running outside to grab the hose and be like, "Are you all right? Oh my God!" And I'm like, "Yeah, I'm doing it on purpose." And he's like, "What?"
Yeah.
I didn't have a
The
lawnmower.
yeah. The only problem with when you have disabilities uh, is living in Minnesota, winter can get in the way. And but outside of that, I absolutely love it here. Um, and I'm not too crazy about having people live next door to me. My one next door neighbor is as well. She's quiet, but she's she's sometimes she's weird. She forgets to she's got dementia, and so sometimes her alarm goes off at the most unusual times of the day, and we just kind of chuckle at it, and when she does weird things, we just kind of go with the flow and help straighten her out, and that's about it. But um and and then I don't have anybody on the other side of me. I have a stairway. I have a drunk that lives across the hall from me. So I hear his door coming and going all the time so that he can go outside and have a smoke. But when he's in his apartment, he drinks constantly. And my cat absolutely loves him. So, and then the lady below me, she's a nutcase. She has this puppy that she thinks that she's training, but she doesn't know the first thing how to train a dog. And
Yeah.
so the dog barks at anything and everything that goes past the building, and her window is in front of a parking lot. So there's going to be people walking back and forth. There's going to be cars walking back and forth. There are people walking their dogs. You've got rabbits. We've got wild turkeys that walk through the parking lot. And every time there's movement out there, this frickin' puppy goes to the window and starts barking his little head off. And it didn't bother me at first, but it seems that he barks an awful lot now.
Yeah. Hey, Anvil. Good morning. I do not like it when people have untrained pets. It is one of my pet peeves is people with untrained pets.
Yeah. Yeah. And so
It's funny.
Fluffy, yeah,
I saw a cute,
Fluffy,
cute.
go
Sorry, go ahead.
ahead.
I saw a cute commercial about dog treats. They're actually because that reminded me of turkey. They're turkey tendon treats, and it's the first time I've seen this commercial. And it shows this doorknob, and the doorknob is rattling back and forth. And you hear one guy say, "So why did your girlfriend lock you out?" And he goes, "Because I gave the dog the wrong treats. I gave her dog the wrong treats." And the other guy is like, "Oh, okay." And then you see the door open, and the first guy is like, "Ah," like this, and they show this tiny little like Lhasa Apso type of dog. It's this little fluffy dog, and it's just staring at them right in the doorway. And he goes, "Did you bring the right treats this time?" And the guy holds up his hand. He goes, "In every shape," like this, and it's like a half a dozen different shapes of this turkey tendon type of treat. And the dog is like, "Arr," like this tiny little, "Arr." And he throws them on the floor. And the little dog runs for them, and all of a sudden the guy goes, "Ah!" like this because the girlfriend is staying in there just staring at them like, "What the fuck?" And it's just so funny the way they did it with this tiny little dog. I was like, "Oh my god, that's adorable." So I thought it was cute. Because usually commercials annoy me, but this one was actually cute. Now, after I've seen it a million times, it will probably annoy me, but the first time seeing it, you're not expecting this tiny little dog to be like, "Grr, give me my treats." Like, yeah.
Yeah,
But
what really irritated me was this lady, like I said, she doesn't train her dog. So when she takes the dog out for a walk, the dog wants to attack anything and everything out there. It runs after employees that work at the building that we're attached to, and it tries to attack other dogs, and then there's the wild turkeys out there. Well, this one wild turkey decided to build a nest in one of the shrubs. And so she had her nest with her eggs and everything, and the and the little turkeys hatched and everything. And so this little dog saw this little turkey and basically attacked the whole nest. And the mother turkey, she went crazy and was trying to attack the little dog. And in the end, one of the little turkeys died because the dog had killed it. The next morning, I heard this awful, awful, awful screeching sound. It's when the mother turkey discovered that her baby had died. And I kid you not, there is nothing more distressful than a mother turkey grieving the loss of her baby. I kid you not.
what kind of what kind of dog is this, and how old is it?
The dog is about a year and a half, maybe close to 2. The breed is called Teddy Bear. It's a cross between a Bichon Frise and a Shih Tzu.
Okay.
And so it's a little fluffy, and his name is Fluffy. But his
Sorry.
name is Fluffy. But his owner knows absolutely nothing about. She talks about the dog knows 99 tricks, but the dog does not know the 7 basic commands.
So what was she doing when the dog was attacking the nest of turkeys? She just standing there letting it do it?
Yes, that's what I mean. She's dumber than a rock.
She should not own a pet. She should not own that dog. People
That's
like that
right.
should not own animals.
That's right. That's right. Yeah, she is. Yeah, and everybody knows that. But the thing is, the building where we live, she got authorization from a doctor that was paid under the table to sign this animal as a companion animal.
Well,
and
you know
it's
what?
by no
That little piece of paper isn't going to do her fuck all good if that dog bites somebody.
Exactly. I am just waiting. Well, the thing is, the fact that she doesn't know how to train this dog. Eventually, the dog is going to get angry enough that it's going to harm her. That dog will attack her someday, and she doesn't know that.
Attacking her is fine. She should pay for her own stupidity. But if that dog bites anybody else or somebody else's dog, it can get booted out of the building. You know, so
that's yeah. And
it's not fair to the dog either, because I mean, the dog is only running on instinct. If they're not trained, they don't know any other way to behave. So.
Mm-hmm. And now I found out that there's another lady moving into this building, and she has a dog that's well behaved. So we've got, so so we're getting more and more dogs in this building, and it's not, that is, that's not fun. But this one lady is pretty much out of control. Anytime there's there's a conflict between another dog, she always claims that the other dog started it, and everybody knows that she's lying. So
people need to start getting it on videotape. They need to start getting it on video. With them from the time they walk out of their house, their condo, from the time they walk out their own door until they interact with this person. They need that on video so that people know exactly what's going on.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah, and she's not a good owner either. She walks around with a cane, and sometimes she doesn't like what the dog does, and so she whacks the dog with a cane.
No, she needs to have that animal taken away from her. She doesn't need to be owning an animal at all.
Right. And but
that's animal abuse right there, and that needs to be on video and turned over to the ASPCA, and they'll take that animal away.
Well, the local police are pretty good at that too. So they would take, because we've got really strict laws about animal abuse in this state.
Somebody needs to get that on video and show it to the cops so that they can save that dog, because that dog, the dog deserves an owner who's going to actually care for it, not just have the dog because it's cute and it's a status thing. I mean, if you're going to have a dog, you have to train it, and it has to have a job to do, which is listening to commands. All dogs were created for a purpose, even the tiny ones. So if you don't give a dog a purpose, in other words, training, then they get bored, they get confused, they act out, they bite, they chew up shit.
Yep, you're absolutely. Yep, you're right, Kodi. Kodi, you're right on.
So
you're right on.
I mean, my mom is absolutely amazed that Simi is so well trained, and I was like, "What are you talking about?" I'm like, of course she's well trained. Why would she not be well trained? All of our dogs were trained because I trained them.
And that's because dogs are pack animals, and your dog has so much self-esteem because your dog knows that he's serving you, and as long as you're happy, he's happy.
Oh yeah, Simi hates it when I cry. Simi is she's like a therapy dog, but she trained herself to do that. I didn't train her that way. But like, even when a few times Robin would have me laughing so hard during those Insomniac shows, and I would just be laughing so hard that I had tears running down my eyes. My dog thought I was crying, and she would come over and try and, she'd be wiggling all over the place and trying to give me kisses and nudging my hands to get me to play with her to distract me from being sad, and that's what she does whenever I'm actually crying, or when she thinks I'm crying. She comes over to try and make me feel better. She's very sweet. She's a very good dog, and
that's so sweet.
And my mom absolutely loves her, even though she calls her by the wrong name. See, my mom never listened to me. Whenever they've had dogs in my mom's house, she never listened to me on how to train them. So they always ended up with dogs that acted up. And then she's like, well, I can't take dogs. I mean, she has a Chihuahua now that my daughter brought home from the animal shelter and just handed my mom this dog. Here's a dog. And that dog barks at everybody who even comes in the room. They live there, and the dog will bark at them. I'm like, no, I wouldn't be putting up with that at all. But she doesn't, I don't know anything when it comes to my mom. She doesn't listen to my advice at all. I know nothing. And it's funny because I would give her advice, and then she would ask a quote unquote professional about something. They would tell her the same thing, and she would rave on and on about how that person gave her such good advice. I'm like, Mom, I told you the same thing. She goes, well, I suppose. I'm like, what the fuck? But my mom's never had any faith in my intelligence. I don't know, but she's amazed because Simi gets so excited when my mom comes over. She absolutely loves it because my mom talks to Simi in baby voice. Simi gets all excited because I don't talk to my dog like she's a baby bee. My mom will come over and she's like, "Hi, Simmy, you're so cute and what a good girl." And I'm like, I'm out in the other room going, "What are you doing, woman?" But Simmy eats it up with a spoon. She's like, "I love you." But then she'll get in my mom's way when my mom's in my room trying to do something. And so all I have to do is go near my door from the other side of the door. I'll be like, "Simmy, get to bed." And Simmy will get back up on my bed and lay down in her spot. And my mom's like, "How do you do that?" I'm like, "Hey, it's called training." Yeah.
Yeah.
So,
Mhm.
and the princess is currently sleeping with her head on my pillow, staring at me. She's like laying there just staring at me with her head on my pillow, going, "Ha ha, I'm on your pillow." The only thing that I could not train Simmy to do was not take off when she got off leash outside. If she gets loose outside, she's gone like the wind. And now at this point, I cannot catch her. So I can't run after her or anything else. So it terrifies me that she's going to get loose. But she, on a leash or on the tie out or whatever, if she got off of that when she's outside, she's gone. And nothing I could do, nothing I did. And I asked dog trainers everything. I'm like, "How do you get a dog to not take off if they get off leash?" And none of them could tell me. I'm like, "Great." I'm like, so I just had to make sure that she didn't get loose. Although the last time when she got loose in Florida, she actually just went into the front yard. She went from the backyard to the front yard and then came in the front door. And I'm like, whew, she's not drooling. My dog doesn't drool, Danny. Danny May, my dog don't drool. Haha. Although she does have a leaky lip when she drinks water. Because she's got that slight underbite because she is part boxer and it's just a little bit, but she'll drink water and she'll walk away from the water bowl and she'll leave little drops for like 4 feet past the water bowl. It's funny. She's looking at me like, "Stop telling all my secrets." But she is a good girl. And I mean, I had to train Issa too, John's wife, because she didn't know what to do with her dog. John got her lab pit mix. He was 3 or 4 months old when she got him. And when I came back from North Carolina, he was about 6.5 months old. And she was like throwing food for him over people's plates of food. So I have this giant dog jumping over my plate of food with his drool. And I'm like, "What are you doing?" I'm like, "If you do that again, I'm giving him your plate of food." And she goes, "You can't talk to me like that." I'm like, "Watch me." She looked at John. She goes, "Are you going to let her do that?" And he's like, I'm not interfering. She'll take my food and give it to the dog. So, because I have done that to John before. I was like, if you want your dog to have people food, that's fine. When you're done eating, if we're not, take your plate over away from the rest of us and give the dog your food. I was like, but don't be throwing the dog food while we're eating. That's rude. I cannot stand animals staring at me, or people for that matter, when I'm eating. So for this dog to be sitting there begging because that's what his owner's teaching him to do, irritated the crap out of me. And she goes, "Well, it's my dog and he'll listen to me." I was like, "Really?" I was like, "Dodge, go lay down." And he turned around and walked away and laid down. And she looked at John. She goes, "How did she do that?" And John goes, "Because she's alpha." And I eventually trained her and the dog how to behave themselves at the table, but it wasn't easy. The dog, by the way, trained faster than the girl. I swear, Issa was born in a pig trough. She had no manners whatsoever. No table manners at all. I was absolutely appalled. I'm like, "Were you raised by cavemen? What the hell?" Bye, Jennifer. $1.25 tree. Okay. Um. So yeah, I mean, you have to train the dogs starting when they're puppies to how you want them to behave when they're adults. Oh, it's adorable when the dog comes running to greet you at the door and jumps up and they reach your knee and they're like, "Oh, I love you." But when that's a 100-pound dog and it's jumping up and its feet are on your chest, knocking you on your ass, it's not so cute anymore. Or if somebody comes up to your house that has, disabilities or a bad back or whatever, and this huge dog jumps on them, they can cause them serious injury. I know, I've had it happen to me. So, to which point I took 10 minutes and trained their dog not to jump on me. But, I mean, you have to think about how you want your dog to behave when it's an adult and train it that way as a puppy. Start that training early. And even older dogs that you get can be trained. It's just a matter of repetition and you being patient enough to train the dog the way you want it. But I can't stand it when people have dogs that aren't trained, and I can't stand it when people abuse animals. I hate it. So, see now, if I saw that woman hitting her dog with a cane, I would chase her down, run over her with my wheelchair, and then beat her with her own cane and ask her how the hell she liked it. I would. I absolutely would. We had when I was in Florida, apparently when the dogs Miha and Dodge, Miha was hopefully doing well in whatever home she was adopted into, but when she was outside, there was somebody who was angry at John's boss, and he showed up and punched Miha in the face and actually knocked one of her teeth loose. And my son saw him do it, and he walked out and he punched the guy right in the face and broke his nose, and told him if he ever touched our dogs again, he would freaking snap his neck. So yeah, we don't put up with animal abuse in our house at all. Danny May. Well, you know what? John used to let the dogs do that too until he tripped over Miha and fell on his ass. With me, I've had a bad back since I was 19. So the rules when I'm in the kitchen, when I was on my feet, that is, was the dogs were not allowed in the kitchen when I was cooking. They could be in the entryway to where the kitchen was, or the doorway, however the house is set up. Our house right now, yeah, I guess so. My house right now is set up so that there's like the living room and kitchen are basically one room, and there's a long countertop that stretches out. It's like 12 feet, and then the little space to go into the kitchen. So if I'm cooking and I'm moving around a lot, even now, I tell Simi, I'm like, all right, out, go lay down, out there. And she'll lay down right in that entryway. Her toenails will be touching the border, because I don't want to run her over with the wheelchair. And I can't, if I'm in a swing, like I'm swinging the wheelchair around and she's in my way, I can't stop it. That hurts. And then get it started again. So I have to have free flow, But when we had the 3 dogs and I was on my feet in the kitchen, they could not be in there because I was not going to take a step backward and trip over a dog. Nope. So, and none of the dogs were allowed to beg. Miha actually used to fall asleep with her head under the TV little table, like the little folding tables that we used to use when we ate. She would lay down with her head directly underneath it and just sleep until we were done eating. Simi right now, because I sit on my bed when I eat, Simi lays down behind me. So that way she can stare at the back of my head all she wants, but I won't see her staring at me. And it's funny because if I turn my head to look at her, she turns her head away. I'm like, nope, I wasn't looking at you at all. Okay, Bobby. So yeah. And Dodge would just go lay down. I'd be like, Dodge, go lay down, no begging, And it's funny because I'll look at Simi. If Simi is close to me and staring at me, I'll look at her. I go, "Are you begging?" And she'll immediately get up, turn around, and face away from me. It's called training. It's not overly difficult to do. So it's too bad people weren't that easy to train. You know what I mean? That would be nice. So I'm going to give it about 10 more minutes, and then I'm going to shut this down so I can get to organize and everything. Jake is making me drink coffee because we have a ton of organizing today. I feel like my body is coming out of my skin. Overdosing on caffeine is not a good thing, girl. Take it easy. Drink a little bit of water and dilute that stuff. Damn. Too much caffeine will make you nauseous, and then you're not going to get anything done because you're not going to want to move. So if people have links and things like that they want to drop, go right ahead. Again, I have a sale today at 2:30 p.m. Eastern. Yay! So stop by and check that out. Might have something you want. You never know. That's okay, Dibble. I was able to make my chicken, carrots, and potato dinner that I normally would have done in the oven. I was able to do it in my crock pot. My mom picked me up some chicken thighs and some baby carrots and some little red potatoes, which were the most adorable thing ever, by the way. They're the smallest red potatoes I've ever seen in my life, and they came in this little tiny bag. I was like, oh, it's mini vegetable day. Yay. Yeah, I don't get out much. So I threw all those. The only problem was is they were not a name brand chicken, and they excluded a lot of water. So it kind of diluted the flavor of the dish, because what I do is you take the potatoes, and depending on the size of them, you either chop them in half or quarter them, and then throw those and the carrots and the chicken in, and you mix everything and coat it all with the olive oil, um, garlic powder, not garlic salt, garlic powder, rosemary, and thyme. And you coat it all and you just cook it. And I've never done it in the crock pot before. And a special side note is that when you're going to cook something in the crock pot and you turn the crock pot on, it helps if it's plugged into a power strip, turn the power strip on. Okay, because I had all that stuff done and ready by noon a couple of days ago. And I was like, okay, 6 hours on low, and this is going to be absolutely fucking delicious, right? So at 6 o'clock that night, I went back out there to eat, and everything was raw because I had not turned on the power strip. I was like, well, fuck. So, needless to say, I ate at 11:30 night, and it was still delicious. It was still really good, but because so much water came from the chicken, it did dilute it a bit, but it was still really good. I haven't had that in so long, and it's healthier for you. There's no salt added. You trim all the fat off, so it's low fat, low sodium. It's the only sodium is what's naturally in the chicken. You don't add any salt. That's why you use garlic powder and not garlic salt. Or you can use actual garlic if you really want to, but it doesn't coat as well. And it was really, really good. So, and it lasted me 3 meals plus some veggies as a snack. So it was a good thing. But the next time I'm going to make sure that the chicken was still partially frozen too. So I think that if I like when I put it in the crock pot, it was still partially frozen. I think if I thaw it out all the way, there'll be a little less water in it, but it was pumped up with water. But it was still really good, and I was so happy. I got to eat healthy, and it was tasty. Yay! Next will be not so healthy, but it will be adobo chicken, and I love that. In the crock pot. Yummy. Um, and being able to make something in the crock pot that I can divide up into multiple meals helps out my mom too with cost. So I already have her. She already got me everything I need for the adobo chicken, but the bag of chicken that she got me, there were only like 5 chicken thighs in the bag. So I'm like, well, that's not gonna last long. She goes, that would last me 5 meals. I'm like, well, I don't eat like a tiny little bird. I'm like, my mom eats very small portions of food, very, very small portions. She's like, I'd only eat like half a chicken thigh. I'm like, humans cannot live like that. What is wrong with you? And yeah, I'm like, I'm a normal person. I need normal sized meals. And the chicken breast shrunk like 50% too. Once all that water was out of them, yeah, they shrunk. So, but it was good for 3 meals. And if she gets me another thing of chicken, then the adobo chicken will last for 3 meals. So I'll be fine. I'll be good. It's all good in the neighborhood. Um, and I already have the soy sauce, the brown sugar, the garlic, and the vinegar, white vinegar for the adobo chicken. So all I need is the chicken. So that'll be next time. Yeah. Nobody's putting any links in. Nobody's got links. Well, except for Dibble's sort of kind of link. It's not really a link. Makes people wish it was. Irene, you got stuff going on tonight. How come you're not putting a link in? Looney Ladies Comedy Night. Yeah, I don't. I don't have anything live right now, and I don't know if anything else is scheduled, but I do see Irene's link there. Well, fine. Danny Mae's got shit going on this week, so there you go. So, guys, even if you can't buy anything, show up and be company at my sale so I don't feel like I'm all alone. Because there's nothing worse than trying to sell stuff and just hearing yourself talk and you're not getting any feedback. You know what I mean? Yes, coffee is a laxative. TG. TG looks like she's had a boob job. Those look so fake. Now, this right here is TG. Let's see if I can still do it. If I remember how to do it. Where's that stupid little thing that I can never find? You know, my keyboard is way too dirty for this. I can't see all my symbols. Oh, there it is. Yeah, it's a piggy. That's TG right there, little piggy. Oh, oh, oh. I thought it was really funny the other day in Larry's chat. Somebody asked, who gave TG that name? She seems so nice. And I'm like, what do you mean, who gave her that name? It's her channel name. She gave it to herself. What the hell? And TG, I know that they were telling you to change your picture back to the one of you on the toilet, and I'm glad that you did not, because you changed it off of that picture for a reason, because you didn't want anybody to get in trouble for having something that could be considered pornographic, you know, when they highlight your comments and things. So I'm glad you didn't change it, because that's, you know. I don't know. He said he was going to try. I can't watch campfires when it's 100 degrees out. You know, I mean, unless I'm sitting in front of a campfire, I can't deal with campfires. Too many years at camp. I want to be in front of it. So, yeah, exactly. Well, that's why I put in there that you didn't need to change your picture. I mean, if the person doesn't believe that you used to have a picture of, you know, someone sitting on a toilet, then too bad. You don't have to prove anything. You know what I mean? It's like, what the hell? Yeah, Danny Mae, I'm not turning my laptop upside down to read that like it's supposed to be read. So that only works when you can turn the calculator upside down. All right, guys. 2 more minutes. So if anybody has links, drop them while you can. Drop them if you want to. Then I gotta sort through this stuff that's in my room, and then I gotta put the dog out. I gotta drag stuff out there, and oh, it's gonna be rough on my back, but we shall see how that goes. Yeah, this isn't leather, the little notepad thing that I got. But it does have a cute little notepad in it. It does not have the pen with it, but it does have a solar calculator that still works. So that's kind of nice. And it's faux leather bound. I'm not really sure where that came from, but I'm pretty sure it was in the same place I got the purse. That's cool. All right, guys, don't forget, 2:30 p.m. Eastern Time. Be back here on my channel. Keep me company. Even if you can't buy anything, keep me company. Would be nice if you bought stuff, but no pressure because I go to auctions all the time and I can't buy a damn thing. But I do like to show support when I can, when I'm up to it. So I love you guys. I will see you later, hopefully at 2:30. Have a great afternoon. Have a wonderful weekend and be careful and safe. And if you can't, don't name it after me because I was not there to have fun in the process. Ew, Danny Mae. 2:30 p.m. Yep. All right, guys. Bye, everybody.